Another reason that we need an actual progressive to take on Donald Trump is Donald Trump is very, very good at manipulating and moonwalking in and out of seeming like a populist champion. As General Motors and United Auto workers strike, which is amazing. I wish I was there. We were there when they were laid off a couple months ago. No other national media was there. The White House is seeking to end the United Auto Workers strike against General Motors with an agreement that would reopen an assembly plant in Lordstown, Ohio that General Motors shut down in March. The effort, described to Politico by two people close to the matter, would effectively put the White House on the side of the UAW. Some 48,000 GM workers went out on strike on Monday, demanding higher wages, more generous health care benefits, and more job security than management has been willing to offer in a new contract. If the effort is successful, it could boost the president's re-election chances next year in Michigan and Ohio, where his approval rating has been slipping since the two states helped him to victory in 2016. President Donald Trump has tried to woo blue-collar workers, blah, 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 blah. So why this is important is Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania are going to decide the election once more. It's very clear. I think Arizona could potentially be in play. I don't know. I think Iowa, if Bernie were the nominee, could be in play in the general election. I'm not talking about the Iowa caucus. I'm talking about the general election. I think some red states could be in play if Bernie Sanders was the nominee, including Kentucky, which he almost won the primary there in 2016. But if you don't have a real populist, and Joe Biden is not a real populist, then what you're going to have is Donald Trump, probably, the way it's looking now, Donald Trump billing himself as, I'm the one who got General Motors to the bargaining table. I'm the one who got the United Auto Workers' wages up. I'm the one who got the health care benefits better. I'm the one who brought General Motors to the table, and I'm the one who saved those plants or brought back those plants. And in this Politico story I just read to you, Donald Trump is talking, and the White House is talking about trying to save or bring back the plant that they closed in Lordstown, Ohio. Lordstown, Ohio, where I was, in addition to Detroit and other places, interviewing UAW workers just a few months ago. As a reminder, the very plant that Donald Trump says that he's going to help bring back by fighting for UAW workers now, I was there a couple months ago. Here's part of that interview.
But President Trump actually told people, I believe at a rally around here, don't move. Your factory's good. I'm bringing back. Don't sell your house. All those things. I covered Trump on the campaign trail. I thought it was a lot of hoodwinking. But frankly, when you have areas like Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania that have just been decimated by free trade and this, they're open to somebody saying those things. Can you kind of talk about not just Trump, but I mean it's both parties. You have on one hand the Republicans have been union busting forever, but the Democrats, frankly, the Democratic Party of the last few years has not exactly done a lot to elevate labor unions, and they're all for retraining. Well, I spoke with some steel workers a couple years ago, said, my workers retrained. Unfortunately, there's no jobs. What is the role of Trump here, and what is the role of the Democratic Party as well?
Look, I've written Donald Trump 2 letters since I've been here in May. Since May of last year, and I've got no response, not even like a general, we got your letter type of response. So I think our current president, his plan, right, is to win the 24-hour news cycle, and he's going to continue to win that. I think what America needs is a 10, 20, 50, 100-year plan. We need people to get elected that are going to put a plan to this country and say, this is our strategy, this is what we're going to do, and stick with it, and have bipartisan support. Is this another pie in the sky type of dream? Can our politicians do that? Have they been bought off already with the big money from corporations? They say corporations are people now too. They can give unlimited contributions to political donations. Well, then they should be good corporate citizens and have some a standard that they have to live by if they're going to make those contributions and be considered like that.
So that was the head of the local UAW that I interviewed when I was in Lordstown. But when he did say, and by the way, I was able to go cover GM laying off 15,000 people because of you. But the reason that I wanted to show you that, he made one point that was very, very correct. Donald Trump is interested in winning the 24-hour news cycle. Well, I got news for you. If Donald Trump does something for these UAW workers striking, which currently his White House seems to be getting involved. Currently, his White House is positioning themselves as possibly supporting the UAW workers. I think Donald Trump behind the scenes will have a wink wink with General Motors and its vulture capitalist CEO, Mary Barra, and say, listen, I'm going to publicly go and be for the workers, give them a little bit, but then we'll give you some more behind the scenes, backroom, tax cuts, deregulation, whatever you want. We'll give it to you. But you got to give some crumbs to the workers. I think that's what will actually happen because Donald Trump wants to win over those voters that are currently striking. And you want to know something? If Donald Trump does do something to help those auto workers that have been getting screwed by General Motors for decades, their pensions being cut, their health insurance benefits being cut, their wages being cut, their hours being cut. If Donald Trump does something to help them and the Democrats run Joe Biden against him, who takes money from union busters, who pushed NAFTA, who in 2016 was for the TPP and frankly still is, but is pretending not to be, iceberg right ahead if that's what they do. Iceberg right ahead. Because frankly, I've met people in the Midwest. They want to know, what have you done for me lately? And if Donald Trump is able to bill himself as a fighter for GM workers, as a fighter for UAW workers, as a fighter for the working man and woman of America, people who take a shower right after work, it's going to help him win Michigan. We're going to help him win back Wisconsin, win Pennsylvania, win Ohio. So that's why you need a real populist to point out the reason that these workers have been screwed for years is because of people like Donald Trump and his policies that give giant wet kisses and sexual favors to companies like General Motors. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.